Hello there everybody, this is DinoSasha here, and welcome to my another review. And today's review, we'll be on take a look at the figure is the Schleich 2007 Allosaurus. Now Allosaurus, which name means different lizard, is a genus of a large carnosaurian theropod dinosaur that lives in the late Jurassic period about 155 to 145 million years ago, what is known as North America. Now, the length was only at about, for some configuration, is only at about 8.5 meters, 28 feet long, and weight is about 1.7 metric tons or 1.9 short tons. Now, the Allosaurus is the only member of the theropod that would descend from Allosauridae. This sits very distant on the theropod ancestors. So, the Allosaurus have three genera. Allosaurus fragilis, Gimensidae, and Europaeus. Now there was another Allosaurus species that were never contained on the members of its own kind, such as the Allosaurus maximus, or should we refer to as the Saurophagonix. Others were like Antidromius, Aptodon, Scryosaurus, Entopterius, Laborosaurus, Medrhentensis, and the more specific subspecies of the Womangiraptor. Now, Allosaurus lives in the more recent formation, lives alongside with other dinosaurs like sauropods like Apatosaurus and Brachiosaurus, Stegosaurus, a Therian dinosaur, and Dryosaurus. Now, it's a carnivore which basically eat meat. So, let's talk about the sculpt. The sculpt looks okay for them sometimes. Well, I did realize in the old review, this is really okay design. The sculpt is okay, I think. You know, I like the sculpt, but it's okay. I think it just noticed that this Allosaurus figure is not as good as you think. Well, the sculpt is okay. The pose, just like in the same way on the position of what Allosaurus will look like in the presentation. Well, almostly, it is like represented what dinosaur will look like if we're ancestor birds. Well, the details, it's a really okay detail. Well, I think it's considered that it looks just fine. I don't know what it says, but I think you prefer this Allosaurus to have a nice details on it. I basically want Allosaurus to look like a real design dinosaur. Well, let's talk about the color scheme. It looks nice. Amazing color scheme. It looks green and has stripes on it and the spots around with white underbelly. And yeah, that's what we think. Now, I'll talk about a head. The head looks really nice, and the thing it should do that this head, it has a closed mouth. I wish this mouth is not as what you think. I thought you would open its mouth, but recently they have used the reasonation of opening its mouth to make it look like a real animal. This is like we have a collared-on head. Then there's one specimen known as Big Al who has died from a disease. Yeah. That's what you say that this animal is considered to be another species. This is like the Allosaurus Jemsoni, which is think I full of the specimens. Now, let's talk about the accuracy. That looks like the Allosaurus Jemsoni, a specimen of Allosaurus that lives in North America, lives alongside with other animals that can coexist. So, we're gonna do with to bring up a ruler so how big it was. Here is, so I gotta bring up a ruler. So I did have to fall the camera for us sometimes. So let's get it for a measure for real. Now for a size, this theropod, it was only at about some type of, basic size. It's only at about, 10.5 inches, which is only at about affirmative thick. Yeah, I cannot see. Oh, I can barely see what the size was. I cannot identify what the size was. It's only at about, 27 centimeters, and a height which is the top on the head. We're looking. Oh, I'm at about just basic sizes 4.5 inches, and which is really at about 12 centimeters. Now, for comparison, I can bring you one Allosaurus Jemsoni of the beginning. Here is with the Collectae, another Allosaurus, which is basically really small in my size. I think it looks for example that this one is much bigger than the collective one, because the collective one is a bit smaller, which is, I think it could be a big size, but it's a really small figure, and they may be capable of devouring a head. So that's a really example. Well, the rating, and I'll give it 8 out of 10, which is not as bad as you think. The people, most of them think it's the Big Al from Walking with Dinosaurs, Ballad from Big Al. Well, basically, just the Allosaurus specimen is very deformed as a descendant dinosaur, which is basically why Allosaurus is such a great animal. When I did it with the old review, which is really old and really unstable, but for good news, I just making a remake on this fig review. So I just basically, I don't know if I said for the Allosaurus, but most people like this animal for so much, and I think I recommend this opinion if you want to do with the collective or sometimes, if you know that. So basically what the Allosaurus have reconstructed would look like, if how big was it, how the measurements, and how the strength, and how the magnificent beast it was. Well, according to my calculation, that the gymacity, which is I don't refer, but I don't know refer that this is one of the Allosaurus known as Allosaurus gymacity. It's this immature, is only about much larger. But I refer why this creature is such an iconic being with, you know, basic size, basic length, and everything on it is just a masterpiece. You know, I think this one is a bit okay with this, but this is way just into gear with this. Well, you know what? This Allosaurus is really okay. The next will be on a Spinops. If you want to know about figure, let me know. Well, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the like, subscribe to my channel, and click the bell for notifications so you'll never miss the video. And leave a comment below. And I hope you see for another review about the PNSO 2019 Duke the Spinops. Goodbye, everyone, and see you all next time.